Hi there! Today we're going to be walking through how to set up a Splash integration with Zoom webinars. Once we're set up, any webinar event we create in Splash will automatically create a corresponding Zoom webinar. Each Splash registration will sync to the Zoom registration list. Confirmation emails with unique participant links will automatically be triggered from Zoom. And most importantly, when a guest joins or leaves a Zoom webinar, they'll automatically be marked as checked in and checked out, respectively, in the Splash guest list. The good news? You do not need a technical background to set this up. Before we dive in, it's important to note the requirements. To set this up for your team, you must have access to a Splash Enterprise account and access to the Splash Integrations Manager. You will also need a paid Zoom account with webinar access. This integration does not work with Zoom meetings. Let's begin by clicking into the Integrations tab. Hit the New Integration button and choose Zoom. Hit the Sign into Zoom button, which will pull up an authentication screen in a new window. After authentication is complete, head into the Settings tab. You have the option here to give your webinar a meaningful name. However, the default name is pretty self-explanatory. Then move to your trigger conditions. In all likelihood, you're only going to want this integration to work for certain event types, such as your webinars or other virtual events. If you don't check this box, every new event your team creates will create a Zoom webinar, so be careful. Next, choose the event types you'd like to trigger the integration from the drop-down. The final trigger condition allows you to enable this integration for only select groups in your organization. If you need to set restrictions on who shouldn't use this integration, you'll do it here. Save your changes, turn on the integration, and how about that? We just set up a Zoom Webinars integration. Now, let's make sure our integration is working properly. Head over to your events dashboard and create a new event. Make sure you choose the event type that'll trigger the integration. After the event is created, head over to Zoom and check to see if your newly created event is showing up under your upcoming webinars list. The title, date, time, and time zone should have all synced over. Now, preview your event and submit a test RSVP. When you head into Zoom, you should see the registrant's name and email. Next, take a peek at your inbox to make sure you received your Zoom sent webinar confirmation email. Perfect. Finally, the most important step. Start the webinar and join it using the Zoom confirmation email. Hang on for a few seconds, then leave the webinar. Return to your Splash event and open the guest list. Your attendee should now have a status of checked out. And if you reveal the columns for checked in time and checked out time, those should be timestamped with the time you joined and left the webinar. Testing complete. Boy, was that easy, and dare I say, kinda fun? To learn more about the Splash integration with Zoom webinars, head over to support.splashdot.com and check out our complete user guide.